Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence out on the map Cloud Kingdom. Spying down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have Omnipotent. Omnipotent, right, that's how you pronounce that, right? That word, Omnipotent. As the red Terran up here in the top right-hand corner, we do have his opponent xOShadow as the blue Protoss. And that was a great way to start off my game, with a complete mispronunciation of Omnipotent's name. Now, of course, Kadoink is the one that actually pointed out that for the, all of the years that I have been living life, I've actually been pronouncing omnipotent incorrectly. It's omnipotent. So I must have sounded like an idiot to quite a few people, and I probably inspired quite a few people to pronounce it incorrectly and sound like idiots. So, thanks, Kadoink. I really, really needed to know that. It was definitely needed to know that I was probably screwing up everyone's lives by accidentally mispronouncing omnipotent. But anyway, we do have both of our players going for, the typical standard stuff. There's not going to be a whole lot that's going to go on in the early game in the TVP on Cloud Kingdom that's really going to be able to tell you what the hell is going to go on. I mean, I guess if you saw a ridiculously fast refinery, you could say it's going to be Banshee Rush, but typically players aren't going to Banshee Rush because on maps like Cloud Kingdom, Blink Obs all-ins are very, very popular, and observers are typically gotten by Protosses in most TVP matchups nowadays anyway, so it's really not worth going for Banshee Rushes just because you're going to get observered and then you're going to die, because that's what observers do. They scout your Banshees and then you die. And that's kind of how it works. We do have the assimilator and the refinery coming down for both of our players, so we're going to see a reasonable tech from both of them. It's not going to be like a gasless FE from our Terran player, which has become sort of standard in the matchup. And yeah, we do have the probes coming into the base and scouting around. And man, I should really not record these as soon as I wake up in the morning, because I just realized that there's like a lot of snot that is kind of stuck in the back of my mouth. It's kind of messing up how I sound whenever I try to talk and project my voice really well into a microphone, and it's actually driving me crazy right now. But I'm gonna have to power through it because I really don't have time to produce a different video today, or produce a video later in the day. So instead, I'm just gonna power through this snot noise stuff and try to take more drinks of water. Just so that, it doesn't sound quite as bad. I'm sure it doesn't really sound that bad on the recording, but it's very, very annoying to me personally. It looks like we do have the barracks coming down here to land right next to the factory, so we are going to see some level of add-on going down, which will probably be swapped onto the factory. So it looks like we might actually see some fast Hellions, maybe, coming out from Omnipotent. Either that, or he just didn't want to have to lift it up, move it over 3 feet, and then put the reactor like right next to his wall in, which is also not a bad decision. You really don't want to or need to do that in almost any scenario. So it really depends. I would actually be kind of surprised if he went for Hellions, because Hellions in TVP are kind of bad. And it looks like there's not going to be a lift up on the oh, whoa, actually, yeah, it's gonna be Hellions in TVP. Which is interesting, because again, Hellions and TVP are kind of bad. I think the only time I've really seen them work out amazingly well at the higher levels was probably in that ridiculous White Rob versus Marine King Prime game. It was like a year and a half ago. I will never be able to find the VODs. So if you ask me for it, I don't know where they are. I think it was a Red Bull Battlegrounds, but I don't know. Maybe somebody can help me out with that. But anyway, like he went like 4 factory reactor Hellions and just rushed with reactor Hellions and smashed his way through a Stalker army, and it was like, what the fuck is happening? Because that is Stalkers. Stalkers don't take damage from Hellions. Everybody knows that, and everybody was just so confused, and Day 9 was like, what is happening? And I think he was commentating with DJ Wee, and DJ Wee was like, what the fuck is happening? And nobody could figure anything out. It looks like we do have the Hellions swinging into the main base, and they actually are going to be able to do a reasonable amount of damage just because they're so speedy and there's no actual units back here to defend against them. So we do have, how many probes going down so far? 7, which is, that's pretty much an even trade, and we do even see that number going up to 10, maybe even 11 here, and oh my god, he's actually doing a fair amount of damage here. Now, of course, these Hellions are probably not going to be able to get too many extra kills, maybe just one more at the base of the ramp, but I don't know. Actually, with a nice little bait there on a couple of the Stalkers, he's going to be able to get a little bit more here, and oh my god, he just absolutely ravaged the economy of his opponent. Holy shit. Holy shit, down to 9 probes. Ugh. 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 That is... Alright, now he's down to 8 probes. This is like horrifying level stuff. Oh my god, we see him swinging back into the main base. The block on the Stalker just is not quite there. 3 of the Hellions do break up into the main base. It looks like there's a sentry coming in that is going to want to drop a force field to kind of prevent these guys from escaping again. But they are just going to be going for some probes. Are they going to be able to get this probe? Yeah, they do get one more probe. And this was... That was some very effective harass. I mean, he's up 27 SCVs to 9. 9 probes. 9. Like, that's literally just barely enough probes where you can produce probes off of 2 Nexuses simultaneously. Barely. Barely enough. And... Alright, well, it looks like we have a little bit of rage coming out here. I really should have my mature language filter on, but I don't because I'm a man. A manly man. So, you know, instead you get to see swearing. Congratulations, welcome to my videos, where I actually swear an abnormally high amount of the time, considering I don't do it that much in real life. But anyway, we do have the 2 bunkers spawning out from xOShadow, or Omnipotent, god, and he really doesn't want to lose this, which is a perfectly reasonable thing. I mean, honestly, he's basically already won this. He can sacrifice so many SCVs and still be like ahead in twice as many workers as his opponent. It's almost hilarious. Actually, it is kind of hilarious. He can literally just attack with SCVs, build like 4 command centers, attack with SCVs, and he'll probably still win. That's how far ahead he is. In fact, he's even going for cloaked banshees because he knows that his opponent just does not have the economy to fight them off at this point. He can't build the observers to fight them off. He's not going to have the gas production to fight them off because he needs to be producing probes constantly to even try to catch up. And we do see the probe number actually skyrocketing quite a bit, and it's not doing bad, but it's just... It's never gonna catch up. Because, I mean, you know, we have 2 SCVs coming out at a time from Omnipotent. We do have the attacks getting ready to form up again. The Banshee is now flying out across the center of the map, so it is going to be going in for a couple more probe kills at this point. The cloak is almost done. There is an observer just now coming out, so there will be an observer out for this. However, I don't think he has really the numbers to deal with this, because he only has, what, like 3 stalkers, and they're all in the middle of the map, and he really does not have the ability to produce extra stalkers. And it looks like we do have a stalker warping in. It is going to be sniping as much damage onto that Banshee as possible, but it will go down before long, and there we go, it does go down, and it looks like this Banshee is even going to be able to take out a second stalker, maybe. Yep, there goes the second stalker. Is it going to be going for the sentry? Not a bad decision to run away here, and is it going to get away? Yeah, alright, the Banshee is perfectly fine. It's just at, you know, 6 health. Which is a little bit on the sketchy side. However, with the 3rd base coming out from Omnipotent, he can really sacrifice whatever. He has double the supply of his opponent, actually perfectly double the supply of his opponent at that point. He has 3 Banshee production on the way, because, you know, YOLO, right? I mean, come on. God. Shadow's not very happy at this point, which is understandable, because, you know, there's 3 Banshees coming out, and there's that Blink's Obs all in. I mentioned a little bit earlier. Again, it's a really good strategy on this map, just because of how wide open the main base is. Like, you can put Blink up from anywhere here, and then, like, this is a perfect positioning for any amount of Stalker play, because, you know, it's hard to do stuff in that area. Anyway, we do have the Banshee getting sniped by the Stalkers, and I kind of lost my train of thought on that last sentence, so if it kind of just stopped mid talk, that's why. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But with 3 Banshees being produced at a time, they will soon overwhelm the Stalker forces. In fact, after these 3 Banshees are done, they should be overwhelming the Stalkers at that point. It looks like we are going to have this Banshee get sniped by a Stalker. Just one little burst beam thing manages to kill him and avenge his 2 friends. But now with these 3 Banshees here, this is scary. It's definitely scary. So we are going to see the 3 Banshees coming in, and they are going to do a whole ton of damage to these Stalkers, and I would not be surprised to see them absolutely take out all of these things, and then a lot of probes on the side, and there we go. All of the damage going down onto xOShadow's base, and I don't really think he has a way to fight against this at this point. He has 5 Stalkers, so he will be able to take out this wave, but once, you know, 6 Banshees are here, probably not. 6 Banshees do a lot of damage. They'll probably be able to one-shot Stalkers, and he's he is seriously just keeping up with 3 Banshee production, which is a lot of Banshees. Now, of course, Cloak doesn't really matter at this point in the game because there's not going to be a snipe going down on any of the observers. There's a couple of observers that are already there, so he doesn't really matter that he's just keeping his units cloaked like an idiot and, you know, not uncloaking them to save energy. But, you know, that's perfectly fine. So we are going to see some nice micro coming out onto the Banshees, and they are going to be doing quite a bit of damage. This is, of course, a full 6 Banshees at this point with a 7th on the way. The 6th one is a little bit on the injured side. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped down a Mule yet to kind of fight against that, and he's going up to 5 Banshee production. That's a lot of Banshees. That's a lot of Banshees. I don't think there's actually a way for the Protoss player to win this anymore, but again, I probably could have called that after the Hellion Harass killed, what, a lot of probes? I'll just call it like 30, because that was a kind of a ridiculous amount of probes and I forgot to check afterwards. But it basically culled all of the probes from xOShadow, and there's no way to recover after that. You can't recover from 9 probes versus 37. It just doesn't work at all. And now we do have the main army from Omnipotent coming out, and this is a lot of main army, and there's no way xOShadow is gonna fight this. And there we go. It's just a straight up rage quit. That's perfectly understandable. This was a rough game for xOShadow to be a part of. So anyway, guys, if you would like your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And also, if you would like to watch any other Boisterous action, you can head over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. I would like to thank you all for watching this game, and this is Boisterous signing out.